All right, we're going to go on to our next one because Fortnite is on the news again, and I guess maybe it might become legal action, maybe not. Who the hell
I
knows?
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think it. I don't think it will.
I think it should, only because the little guy
I
should
absolutely
win.
think it should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if y'all remember, which you should, it was recently, Among Us, right? Great game, did very well. It was a nice social experiment for a lot of people about telling the truth and figuring out who was lying. Well, it looks like somebody wants to capitalize on that, and of course, it would have to be Fortnite, right?
Yes.
So
The company that had a crappy game, ripped off PUBG, and then got big, found another thing to rip off now.
Yep, that's crazy because
Yeah.
it's not really trying too hard to be anything different from Among
Mhm.
Us. I mean, even if you take a look at some of the Twitter posts here, the map looks very similar. A lot of the gameplay looks very similar, but they didn't try too hard on this. So I don't know if anybody on the chats has tried the Fortnite imposters thing, but it looks like a complete ripoff.
So, yeah, like, so Among Us, yeah, as Joe said, the game actually came out like 3 years ago, but it didn't really get big until last year.
Right.
It was really big during lockdown, pandemic. People could still play it. It's free to play, so that was cool. So Call of Duty also has their own version of Among Us.
Yeah.
I think it's called Agents or something like that. Theirs is a little bit different. It looks different. It plays different. So they kind of took inspiration from Among Us for the Call of Duty.
They
version.
tried.
Fortnite, it looks like they literally copy pasted and made it prettier. Which, like I said, I don't think any legal action is going to come up here because Inner Sloth, who's the company who makes Among Us, they've even said that they didn't copyright anything or trademark anything on like their gameplay mechanics.
Right.
They did that on purpose. Like they don't want to hinder game development like that, by saying, oh no, that's ours. You can't ever make a game like that because we own it, which is very admirable. And I totally get that. Their beef with Epic on this whole thing is basically saying like, hey, we would have been happy to, collaborate with you on this.
Yeah.
But you just went off on your own and blatantly ripped us off. So screw you guys.
It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, Among Us is on a downturn anyway, only because like most of their DLC stuff hasn't brought on a huge following anymore. But it's definitely one of those games that just like stood its test of time only because of a perfect storm of COVID, people staying home, and all that other stuff. The same things you mentioned. It just feels like this is just one of those too little, too late kind of situations, and it's just like, oh, okay, well now we have Fortnite.
It's okay for Epic. This is a smart move.
Yeah.
Like for them, this is a smart move because they can now say, why would you want to play that when you could you're already in Fortnite? Why wouldn't you just stay within Fortnite?
Yeah.
Like be in our ecosystem and then play your game.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
that's exactly what they
Fortnite is
did.
a free game. Fortnite is free. You got, it's just microtransaction, like all cosmetic based. So it is free, just like Among Us. But...
So yeah, you're right. It is pretty smart. I mean, because they clearly already have an IP that they're sticking to, right? That they're promoting a lot of things to. And then they're expanding on that one. And instead of having to build it from scratch and then build their audience from scratch, they're just inheriting the ones they already have.
Yeah, it's all about keeping people in Fortnite. So it's like, I get it. But Matas Lesinskas, we're probably butchering your name. I apologize.
We apologize.
Yes.
I hope for Fortnite's death, # bring back Unreal.
Unreal Tournament, bro.
I know exactly. Yeah, a buddy of mine did the same thing. He was. Do you remember when there was an Unreal game in the works? It's actually still alive. It's like a beta. There was an Unreal game like 3 years ago or something like that, 3-4 years ago, and
it's just an engine demo.
He came across that game and basically said, hey, we should all play this. And I was like, dude, that's a dead game. And he goes, no, man, it's on their website. And I'm like, no, Epic even admitted, they said they're shutting that down because Fortnite is doing so well and they don't need it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, don't take it as not fan service. Take it as they know exactly where they're going to make their money. They're no different than any other company. It's just the fact that they didn't take it down is still like hey, we're going to let you play this. Because if you look at their launcher, that is the first thing that you can actually play on their development side is Unreal Tournament. Now, are there maps that are missing a lot of content and textures and all that stuff? Yeah, but Unreal Tournament has always been one of those community games that people just develop for, not necessarily something that Unreal polishes to the greatest extent and then just sells it to you. Because the last one they tried to do that with was Unreal Tournament or Unreal 3, I think it was, and it just had a bunch of multiplayer stuff, and very few little people actually played it.
I thought that game was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh wow, Unreal 3. I played that on the PS3 because it was like console exclusive on PS3 back then, and it was like, wow, what have they done? Yeah. This is horrible.
And then do you remember Unreal Champions or was it Championship?
Unreal Championship and Unreal Championship 2 were Xbox games.
Yeah.
And I loved both those games.
Yeah, they were more more along the lines of like a class base and then some abilities.
Unreal Championship 2 was that one, where you like all the characters had their own like basically like damage and health levels and speed levels, and they all had like a special ability and stuff like that. That was Unreal Championship 2. The first one was basically Unreal Tournament. Yeah. But for some reason they called it Championship.
Yeah. Joe Dub says right here, by the way, I love that Among Us devs is getting mad when Among Us is just a knockoff of other games like Salem. Now look, I'll tell you one thing. I say that yes, Among Us, if they ripped off things from other games, is great, but there are very little originality in a lot of games nowadays where it's just either a remaster, reboot, or something like that. But the thing is here, Among Us won the popularity contest. Mm-hmm. Salem might have been up there at the time, but it didn't hit that.
In the beginning, it was. I can understand what you talk about. Like it's kind of a knockoff, but yet it's really. How do I describe? Oh no! Please no.
No, move on. Go on, Mel.
Basically, you can actually do tasks versus just talking and killing each other.
Right.
So.
Oh, Town of Salem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never played this. I don't.
Exactly, and that's the point. Is that you can claim originality and all that stuff, but somebody took something from somebody else, and then at the same time, whatever you put your spin on it, that's the game that hit. Yeah. And because it just became popular so fast and the timing was there, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks for games who actually did try, but they didn't catch that gaming fever at the time. So, I don't know.
Okay.
It's up to you. I mean, I think Among Us did great. I think they're on their downturn. I think unless they come up with some radical new thing, then I don't think it's going to come back.
I will agree with everything you just said. I played it a bunch during lockdown last year. Like Joe, me and you and Mel actually played a few of them. Mm-hmm. And it's fun. It's a fun game. I get why it was popular, but after like 2 hours, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go play something else now.
Yep.
That's true.
Like, oh, come on, we're all together. It's a big group. We're all having fun. And it's like, yeah, but
stabby.
This got boring, you know? Like...
It held us over for the pandemic.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to my favorite topic.